All right, folks at home, welcome back to RueTV tonight. I am here today on this sunny ass Sunday in we're split between Philly and New Jersey today because my guest been looking forward to this for a long time. My guest, member of one of my favorite bands, one of my favorite bands on the scene today, Teenage Halloween, from Teenage Halloween, the one, the only, Luk Henderiks. How are you doing today, Luke?
I'm good. I just got back from work and now I'm excited to hang with my buddy Rue.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you recently moved to Philly, right? I mean, this was like a
Yeah,
new move,
like
right?
totally. Yeah. Like I moved there January 17th. So I've been there
Wow.
about, as of when this is being recorded, I've been there for about 2.5 weeks or so.
Oh man.
Um yeah, and it's been great. I got a job pretty early into moving in, which was like yeah, like
Yeah.
just blessing that. Hope it stays. Um it at the Ritz-Carlton in Center City, so I've been just like
Oh, nice.
doing a lot of hospitality stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Um got back from the 40-day tour in December, so I had to like really like hustle to get things together. So I'm pretty pretty excited about the downtime, but like planning a bunch of new stuff for the band. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, so you're originally from Jersey. I mean, I'm folks at home know I'm South Jersey, right outside of Philly, but you were more towards I think Osha, Asbury Park area, right around there. So
Yeah.
you're kind of getting your I don't know, surroundings about you in Philly. Are you familiar with the air? I mean, you've only been here for a little bit, but are you getting familiar with the area and some of the spots or not
Oh,
yet?
totally. Yeah, yeah. I lived in Philly for about 6 to 8 months in 2017.
Oh,
So
okay, okay,
yeah, yeah. So like I like right when I got out of high school, I was like,
yeah,
fuck it, I'm moving to Philly, and like was really excited about like city life.
yeah, yeah.
And I lived there for a little bit. I got to know West Philly pretty well, but
Okay,
now I'm living in South Philly. So um it's a new place for me. I've been like learning a lot about it. I really love like I love what the area has to offer. I mean, it has some of the best Vietnamese food I've ever had.
oh yeah, for
Really,
sure.
yeah, really good Italian food. The public transit to get to Center City
Yeah.
has been like a breeze, and like my job is only like 3 stops, so that's been pretty cool. Um, just like slowly acclimating to the area. I mean, I love this area of South Philly because it's very like it's just like a really nice neighborhood, and
Yeah.
like there's like that funny street that like has the Christmas lights on all the time.
Yeah.
It's just a very interesting place, and I've been just really loving exploring it.
Yeah, I'm extremely jealous. I try to get to Philly as much as I can, for shows or to hang out. One spot I love is South Street. If you've ever been,
Yeah, of
there,
course, hell yeah.
yeah, we need to get Teenage Halloween into Repo Records. It's one of my favorite record stores
Love
on
it.
South Street, and of course, shout out to Tattooed Moms, who is
Love it.
a great spot, one of my favorite spots on South Street. But so we were saying you were so originally. I'm not 100% sure. I know the band was based in like kind of the venues in Asbury Park, but did you grow up in Asbury Park or like sort of closer or
um
further away?
I grew up in a town called Ocean, which
Okay,
is Asbury Park zip code. So it's
okay,
maybe like 6 minutes, like the ocean line is like 6 minutes from Asbury Park.
yeah,
I've grown up around that scene pretty much my whole life. Going to shows there. I mean, any like venue in town was about 10 minutes of a drive from my
yeah.
house.
Oh,
So
awesome.
definitely feel a strong attachment to the area as like a home base. But
Yeah,
I just needed to make a little bit of a change. But
yeah, sure.
but then but like Eli lives in like Queens, New York City. Trisha and Pete live near Asbury Park. So I mean, we call it our home base because like my mom's house is where we practice a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Well, eventually we gotta convince. I don't know how the hell we're gonna do it. We gotta convince Eli and Trisha and the rest of them to just kind of like collectively move to Philly, so we could all everybody can be in Philly eventually, and be a Philly original. Like I like a lot of there's the scene in Philly is really good. Honestly,
Yeah, great bands.
the punk scene is really good. I mean, I know you're familiar with the venues and Asbury Park, like House of Independence, or
Yeah.
God, is the lane still open? It used to, I think, Asbury
The
Lane.
Lanes is open. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
they have a like Asbury Lanes is nowadays like a lot more like new looking because it got bought out by
yeah.
Bowery Presents. So it's like definitely
Okay.
it has less of a soul than it did back in
Yeah.
the day. But
Oh my God. Yeah, that reminds me of something. Not to cut you off, but I went to I don't know, a few years ago, about 4 years ago, I took a bus to New York City, and I went to because I'd never been to CBGB's. Obviously, it was before my time.
oh
So I
yeah.
so I so I I went in the East Village. I walked there, and you probably know this. It's a high end clothing store now. So
Yeah, I actually, I never looked into the legacy of like what happened to that
yeah,
spot. I know I just knew it closed. I knew that there was like I might be totally lying right now, but I thought I heard that there was like a piece of it in an airport.
yeah. No, there is. I'm not sure if it's Newark or one of the airports, whatever the one in
Yeah.
closest New York City is. But
Yeah,
yeah.
but like what were you saying? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, they preserved like some of the aesthetic of it, like some of the walls are preserved, just the look of it, but clearly it's a shell of its former self. But what are you
Yeah,
gonna do?
prop. Yeah. I mean it yeah, I did not know it's a high-end clothing store. I mean
Yeah,
that's just it's just par for the course with
yeah,
like punk
hmm
spots and like what happens to them. But
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing. I've already seen you guys. Teenage Halloween. You've been around in Philly. I think I saw you at a couple of different venues. Trying to think, Philomoka, Johnny Brenda's, a lot of good
Awesome.
spots in there. So I just hope that continues and beyond, of course. But for folks at home who don't know, I kind of have a hunch of what got you into. Um, Music and more specifically the punk. But for folks at home that don't know, tell everybody what really drew you in terms of getting you into punk rock music.
I would say honestly, like the earliest influences for me were like Bomb the Music Industry,
There you go. I know it.
like
Yep.
Jeff Rosenstock bands,
Yep.
and also the Ramones were huge for me, like
Okay.
really big, like Buzzcocks, The
Yeah.
Damned, a lot of earlier punk, Dead Kennedys. That was like the my first introduction was like the old hardcore in the 80s,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that
Oh
kind of
wow.
like
Holy cow.
that
That's
kind
like.
yeah, that kind of like really was like exciting to me because like that was what like the cool people listened to in
Mhm.
town. And I was definitely more into like classic rock
Yeah.
and like rap when I was younger. So I did learn a lot about like I mean I'm still into both genres now, but I'm saying for
Yeah.
punk, I like kind of like
Yeah.
learned a lot about it through like older bands and like the
Right.
Ramones and Jeff Rosenstock was like a favorite of a lot of
Right.
friends and
Oh,
I
absolutely.
dug
Yeah.
into that and it just like changed my life forever. I mean,
Absolutely. I love that guy. And yeah, he well I just people that who've watched this show before know sort of how my history goes. I was an outcast in high school. I really didn't fit in anywhere. It's kind of a theme of people in the punk scene. We don't really fit in
mhm.
much growing up. So naturally I took it's like a magnet to punk rock. So I didn't have an older brother. I didn't have an older sibling, older sister, whatever. I'm the oldest of three. So I
Oh,
kind
I'm
of
the
had to.
oldest also.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to find my way outside of MTV, and so what I would do is the punk rock kids at my high school and hardcore kids, I would kind of like. I didn't even fit in with them, honestly. I was kind of like too nerdy to fit in with the punk kids, and too normie to, too weird to fit in with the normie kids. So what I would do is I would see, oh, well, I know what I like. I know what they like. We have similar tastes. So if they would come to school with like a hardcore shirt on, I'd be like, that's a see, I probably like that band. I would cold buy albums. I'd go to the record store and cold buy
Oh,
albums
hell yeah.
based on like t-shirts I would see kids wearing at school. So that's
I
how
mean,
old.
that is like a cool way to find out about music. Like, I
Yeah,
can't lie to you. Like, buying an
yeah,
album that looks really cool and then being
yeah.
satisfied with the art inside of it is a great
Mhm.
feeling.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
90% of the time they were, I know it worked and I dug it. But to go back to, you brought up Jeff. So like I said, I try my best today to discover new bands, and I made a point to discover a lot during the pandemic. I didn't want to just get set in my ways, listening to the same old shit. So I made a point to discover new bands. Well, I didn't really have to do much work in discovering Teenage Halloween because honestly, and I'm sure you remember this. I hope you remember this. When Jeff put you guys on blast, I think he like, I don't know, retweeted or put you over on I think it was Twitter. And I was like, who the hell is this? Because I'm Mr. Halloween. I love Halloween. I love punk rock. This is like a match made in
Oh,
heaven.
hell
So
yeah.
when Jeff put you guys over, well, had you had any contact with him prior to like him saying you guys had to check out this album by Teenage Halloween, or was that like out of the blue? Like, because if you that would be similar to be somebody who one of your rock inspirations digs your work and your art. That had to be a pretty good feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I mean, that was like such an awesome feeling. I mean, we played a show with Jeff like a couple years, maybe a year before the first
Oh,
record came out.
okay,
So
okay.
we met him at that show and he was like really nice to us. And
Yeah, okay.
I stayed in touch with John, who plays bass for them.
Hmm.
And I mean, I don't know, it just like it ended up being something he liked and it made me really happy. I didn't expect that also. So I mean, that was a huge help for our first record. Like, that really got us into more ears because multiple people have told me that they found out about our stuff through like an email blast that Jeff sent. So
Yeah. I think
yeah,
I may have even read that too.
yeah, it was
Um,
like just like everyone that like subscribed to like his either like newsletter or something.
yeah.
But yeah, that was like such a nice feeling. It's like really fulfilling in a super weird way to get like recognized by people that like have brought the light to you.
Yeah, no, it must have been. You know, I know I have a lot of people watching, listening to this at home who aren't familiar with Teenage Halloween, who are now going to check them out. I got to say, uh, Luke, I don't. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is no disrespect to other bands. There's a lot of good bands I like, and there's a lot of good bands that sound great. But there's a lot of times when you're listening, it's almost like, all right, I'm not quite sure what band this is. Or sometimes when you're like zoning out in the day and you got your Spotify on or Bandcamp and you're listening, you're like, oh, I love this song, but who is this again? I'm not sure who this is. Oh yeah, that's right. It was this band. Oh, there was that band. When I'm listening to Teenage Halloween, all I have to hear is Luke's vocals and shit. That's it. Like you have the one thing that a lot of bands today never have, which is like
Oh,
you sound
thank you.
so, yeah, and you sound so unique, and that has nothing, that's no disrespect to any other band, but how the hell how did you first of all how did you realize that you had this incredible uh incredible vocal ability inside your vocal cords to it really there's nobody that sounds
Yeah.
like you, and especially today. How did you
I
how did you figure this out?
I mean, yo, honestly, like I just sang like I didn't know if it was good or not. I just like straight up like since I was young, I just like
Yeah,
I was like I have things to say. Like I didn't like exactly like I had things to say that I didn't want like other people to say for me.
yeah. Hmm.
And I mean, I guess that was like I guess that was like what like drove me to like want to sing. And I
Right.
mean, I definitely have had my experiences with like my vocal health. So
Yeah.
I've learned a lot about myself in the last couple years.
Right.
So it's been interesting because like I always thought that things sounded better when like the most intense level of strain is put on them.
Yeah.
Like things that you don't feel like you can do, you
Hmm.
just try and do, and the trying sounds like the trying sounds like a cool like punk song. Like I mean I just have always like I've always deeply believed in the fact that I wanted to like front a band and
Yeah. Yeah.
like no matter like the how I looked, like how I dressed, like the my trajectory in life, I just always wanted to like be like the front person of a band because I just always felt uncomfortable with like other people saying things that I was feeling.
Yeah.
And I was always driven to write. And I mean nowadays it's been a little slower with like writing songs, but that's just like because it's I don't know, a lot has changed in the world. I've been just like
Hmm.
definitely definitely been trying to like contain a lot of ideas and like expand on them in a more natural way. So I mean I would say the me finding my voice was strictly a outcome of me being like, I have to sing no matter what's happening. Like I can suck at singing and no one will like it, and I can say I tried.
Yeah.
And people have said like that like decently often about like the way that my vocals come out. Not in like a you're so amazing way, but more in like a like this is a unique sound. And I've always been like really, really happy about that. So I've just kept doing it.
Yeah. And sometimes the most unpolished, I don't know if you want to call it, I don't consider that to be a negative, but unpolished vocals, especially in this genre or this type of music is it just it just transcends. So I mean it's you are definitely unique in the best possible way. So I
Thank
love
you.
it.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited about how it came out for this Till You Return record
Yeah,
that
yeah.
came out in October. I felt like very proud of like the way the vocals came out because like I really worked super hard from like the first record to
Mhm.
like find even more of like a way to make what I'm doing sound like I wanted to expand on a lot of ideas. So I mean that the last record we put out, like I definitely am I'm very content with how the vocals came out. And I
Well,
can't say that about past recordings.
I think it's yeah, and not to diminish your past recordings because I love your old stuff, and not to say that your past writing and lyrics weren't authentic. They were authentic as shit, really authentic. But I feel like in this new album, because you really stand behind a lot of the things a lot of the things that you wrote about, talking about like things, gender identity,
Yeah.
trying to find out who the fuck you are, and trying to be yourself in a world that's telling you don't, or shitting on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's something I feel very strongly about, and I feel like if I was writing an album like that, maybe it would translate a little bit more because you're just more passionate about everything that you're singing
Yeah.
about, as opposed to just singing about stuff that's just generic, right?
Yeah. I would say that this record is definitely more of the it's like it's a very like uncomfortable record in terms of like what's being sung about. Like it's like about discomfort, like almost
Yeah,
fully.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
I wanted to put that out there because I just I was going through a period where like absolutely everything felt like a negative. There was like absolutely like no positives in like any situation that I was in, and I it was because of my like outlook. So it's
yeah.
like definitely like a I suck and so do you
Hmm.
record. But I'm glad for like I'm very proud of the message that was like put out on it. Like because it's definitely a record being very, very fed up with absolutely everything and like having to like create your own footing in life to like to like get through it and actually be happy, because like the only key to happiness is being happy with yourself.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that record is definitely, it's a sad one, but it's like it definitely is like it. I tried to keep the hopeful energy there,
Yeah. Yeah.
where
No,
it like
it has a good balance
yeah,
of the two, I think.
yeah.
And it's yeah, it definitely resonates, it's all of that. I don't think there's one song on there that doesn't hit you right in the heartstrings. It's very, very personal. Now I know a couple you wrote most of that, but I believe Trisha, shout out to Trisha, she wrote a couple of the ones that she did vocals for, I think, or I'm
Oh,
not sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, Eli actually wrote like most of the chord progressions on the record,
Okay.
like for at least like for like half of a little more than half of the songs that I sing on. Trisha fully wrote her songs
Okay, cool.
and brought them to the band, and I was like absolutely like ecstatic about them. Like I thought the lyrics were awesome. Like I thought the songs were awesome. So
Hmm.
it yeah, shout out Trisha, fucking amazing songwriter, and I'm like really glad to be playing with her and stuff. But yeah, no, those having songs that Trisha sings on the new record was a very, very cool thing. And it gave a really good like palate cleanse to listeners, I feel like, where there's like it's not all of the same sound. Like there's like different like timbres in the voice. And I feel like it like has like the same energy. I'm just like I'm really into that like
Yeah.
contrast on our record. So I mean, but yeah, shout out Eli also. Like Eli helped
I
like
was I was
massively.
Yeah, I was just gonna say what what guitar god did you pay off to get Eli in Teenage Halloween? He's absolutely sick. Oh my God.
Yeah,
His guitar work is amazing.
I mean, I absolutely like couldn't do any of this without them. I mean,
Yeah.
the the way that they're able to listen to something that I bring forward and help like light the fire even more, and it also light the fire under my ass. So
Right.
I love both parts, and I'm just like I'm really excited about them being in the band too. But yeah, they're a primary songwriter on that record, and like me, Trisha, and Eli are going to be working really hard on getting a bunch of songs together for either this year or next year, starting next week. So
Awesome. Awesome. Oh, so what is I was always curious, what is the headspace you have to be in to write a Teenage Halloween song? Like, do you have to have a smoke, take a walk, clear your head, like start with a blank palette, or do you just like kind of so I don't know how do I explain this, but like when I would create things, be it videos or comedy or any kind of form of art, I always turn shit bullshit and negatives into positives, aka art. Do you
yeah, totally.
are you kind of in that kind of frame too, where it's like that you get inspired by negative shit to write?
Yeah, almost entirely. But like
Yeah.
in the current state, we're at least starting to. I'm not feeling insanely terrible, but we're starting to write a record, which is like
Yeah. Yeah.
a good thing actually, because I'm in a totally different headspace this time.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about what comes out. Like
Right.
I'm not. I'm definitely like I have a lot to say that's not exactly the most like roses and lollipops stuff, but I'm definitely like in a space where I think I'm going to be able to focus and expand on it in a more like clean slate. So I'm definitely like excited about that. Um Usually though I get inspired very heavily by like the ultra negatives in life.
Yeah.
Like I it helps me cope. So
Yeah.
I mean that's just like the main thing.
For sure. I mean, I don't know. I can only speak for myself, but like when it's kind of keeps me sane when I create things, whatever it
Oh yeah.
is. It just,
Yeah, totally.
yeah. And when I don't, I kind of get stir crazy. But So you guys, you're all going to, I think, I don't know what part, but the UK coming up, right? You got a UK tour coming up.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know when that is, spring or something, spring or summer. I don't remember.
So it's gonna be like March
Okay.
into early April. It's
Yeah.
gonna be about like 13 or 14 days. Um, we were gonna do Ireland, but that ended up falling through, and we're gonna hit it like later on. And yeah, we're doing the whole country. So going around every
Awesome.
part of the UK possible. The drives are like really short, which is amazing. And we have
Yeah.
we're renting a van. We're winging
Wow.
it.
Awesome.
Um, sadly, Trisha and Peter are very busy with work, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna be touring with Eli and with our friend Eli Raymer, who's in Tongues of Fire,
Okay.
and
Gotcha.
my
Yeah.
and my friend Brett, who has played bass for us in the past for like tours.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
Gotcha.
I'm you might have seen us with Brett at some point
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we've done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I remember. Yeah. A couple live shows on,
he did Brenda's with us that one time.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely. I remember. Yeah. Yep.
I think you were at the was it the fake name show that we hung out at for a second?
Yeah.
Or the
Yeah.
fake, yeah. When like Dennis from Refused's band, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was sick. Speaking of like cool bands, like seeing the guy from Fugazi drumming like
Oh
live, that
man.
was like really awesome. Like that,
Yeah. It's
I
a
thought like
pinch me
no
moment.
hate. Wait, what were you saying, man? I'm sorry.
That's a pinch me moment, when you see somebody from a iconic band like that.
Yeah. And he had the bell. Remember? Like he had some
Yeah,
bell or something.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
some like really weird like drum piece that I was just like, dude, this is a cool guy. Like
yeah, yeah.
hell yeah. But yeah, so we're gonna do the UK with like half fill-in friends, which will be
Okay,
really fun. We're
right.
hyped to hang out with Fresh. It was a decision that like we agreed that we should go out there, like all of us. Like we were like we should just no matter what the stakes are, like still go to the UK because we were offered a tour.
Yeah,
So I mean that was like that was really awesome. Like being able to like get told that I was going to go to the UK. Like I was very psyched because I've never left the USA besides Canada for like a show.
yeah,
So
yeah. That was it for me. I think I've been to, let's see, Canada for a cup of coffee. I've never been outside, so got to get your passport ready, I guess, right?
totally. I mean, I actually don't drive, so I don't have
Yeah.
like my state ID right now. So I have my
Gotta go.
passport always
You gotta
updating.
go get all that stuff squared away before you go. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I have my passport right now, so I'm chilling.
yeah, yeah.
We're gonna do Europe this year, like in 2024. Like
Oh,
we're gonna do
nice.
like we're gonna do like hopefully like Netherlands, Spain, Germany. Our main like objective right now is to play as many places that aren't just continental US.
Right. Yeah, no, that's I guess it's crazy to me because, as well, let's this is going to tie into what we're talking about. uh, Jeff has been very vocal about how shitty the payouts are for Spotify and things like that. It's just
Hmm.
not very good. And but the trade-off is, and when we're living in the 2024, in the 20 we're living in the 20s.
Yeah, that's funny.
The trade-off to not making any coin off of that is discovery. And I feel like that is, maybe doesn't justify it, but kind of it's a different, how, the people, I don't know how many people in the UK um have discovered Teenage Halloween, or bands, in our stratosphere, but with music apps like Spotify, Pandora, and all that, I mean, it's possible that you could have a fan base in another country in Europe and
Yeah,
not even realize it until you get out
pretty
there.
psyched on that actually.
Yeah, and start
Like
singing
seeing
singing your
like
lyric.
yeah, like see, I'm like I'm not as much about like this singing the lyrics thing. I mean, that's
Yeah,
awesome, but
yeah,
the thing that I'm like the first thing that comes to mind is like, yo, imagine if we're like big in Poland or something. Like
yeah,
it would be just very cool. So
yeah,
I'm excited to see like where that goes actually. Like
yeah.
especially like another thought of mine it would be really cool to go to like Australia and Japan. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of another
Oh, you're
like
killing
bucket
Japan.
list.
Yeah, there's a big punk scene in Japan for some reason. I think
Oh,
so.
hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
I love like Otoboke Beaver and
Mhm,
Gizm, like bands from Japan like that.
mhm.
And like there's
Yeah,
just there's a lot of really, really like solid music out there. So it would be cool to be able to play with like cool bands there.
yeah, for sure.
I don't know
Um,
if you know like Trico.
not too familiar with them. No.
No, they're like a really good like math rock band out there. Japan
Oh,
is just
really?
like awesome. Like in terms of like the music, the music out there, it's super like interesting.
That would be really fun. I've never, it's always been a bucket list. Tokyo. I feel like that would be going to Tokyo or somewhere whereabouts. That'd be really fun to
Hell
go out
yeah,
there.
totally.
So you gotta so you're when you're in the UK, they've got oh God, I only know of one food out there that's fuck, what is it? It's okay, it's called just it
Is
is
it Marmite?
no, it's it's
Is it
called
the sausage?
yeah, it's called bangers and mash. It's
Bangers and mash.
it's
Yup.
basic, so it's basically sausage in mashed potatoes. So it's
Oh, I mean, I've heard the UK's food is very interesting.
yeah.
So I'm pretty excited to check out like what people eat there because I'm
Yeah.
definitely like I'm into foodie stuff, but not like spiritually. Like, but I'm like into it. Like, I definitely am excited to see like
Yeah.
what happens there. Like, I'm excited for an English breakfast. That's a
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah. Yeah. I want to see. I want to see. You got to do yeah, definitely do some Instagram updates on the food over
I
there
mean,
while you're over there. I'm
yeah,
curious.
me and Eli have joked about doing like a restaurant TikToks
Yeah,
together
yeah, yeah.
where we like order something and both try things and have like a different like 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 document our like reactions. I'm gonna try that out there because I think it would be fucking hysterical to start in the UK.
Yeah, no, for sure. And if they have food out there that's not so hot or tastes like garbage, I doubt it will be. But if it does, you can just dump some of your hot sauce on it.
Yeah, yeah, that would be funny. I mean, I definitely I have a couple people that I gotta like give some to out there. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring like a couple like bottles with me.
yeah.
So
We have people watching right now. They're saying, "What the fuck is Rue talking about?" Uh, Luke, tell everybody you sell the hot sauce now, right? Or you make the hot sauce,
yeah,
or
yeah. I do something called complete goner sauce, and it's like
okay,
essentially like I sell hot sauce that I make out of my house.
awesome.
It's very quality controlled. I have a like whole lab in my kitchen, and I've been making sauces for bands for like 3 years now. Whenever bands need like runs of sauces,
Yeah,
and I also I'll have like random flavors up like for like buying one and I'll ship it. And like that's been my side hustle for a pretty long time now. Like I was able to live good enough living with my parents doing that. So I mean,
awesome, awesome.
yeah, so I mean I'm slowing down pretty heavily, but I still sell some. So if you have interest, go to Complete Goner Sauce on Instagram.
Complete Goner sauce on Instagram, and also while you're there, go to your local pharmacy and pick up some Nexium because you're gonna get heartburn because it's hot as shit, right?
Yep, it's pretty fucking hot. I really, really like challenging people because when I first started, people were like telling me my stuff was too mild. So
Yeah.
I mean, and I was like, oh, I thought that was like palatable. So now I'm just like super hot. Like all the stuff that I make is
Yeah.
like I like using ghost peppers and like Carolina Reapers,
Oh man. Yeah.
the seeds of jalapenos that I like will like add into things to like add an extra like kick.
Yeah.
Um, I definitely yeah I have a deep love for it. I'm just like I've been super busy lately, so I'm like slowing down a bit.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I'm gonna expect a hot sauce inspired song on the new album. So
Oh, I
I'll
mean,
be let down if that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I should probably make one funny line.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, just one little quip line. It's all.
yeah, like a super serious song about like death, and then I'm like, I make a hot sauce line, and
Yeah,
like I feel like that would be the perfect placement of it as like a curveball.
yeah. You know what I wanted to ask you, talking about songs and stuff. I really enjoyed the music video for fuck, what was it? Armageddon, I think it was.
Was
Uh,
it the wrestlers?
the wrestler one, yeah, because
Oh yeah.
I grew up with a wrestling fan, so I was curious how that came to be, who put that together, who directed it, and tell us a little bit about Armageddon, the video featuring pro wrestlers.
Oh, well, we wanted to make a video that was like a queer empowerment video using
Yeah,
using like pro wrestling as the
yeah,
theme.
kind of like
And
contrast. Yeah,
we had a friend willing to like help out with that. And we like rented a photo studio that looked kind of like a ring
yeah,
and wanted to make like definitely like a rocky underground gym type vibe
yeah,
with like the very upbeat song. I don't know. I like it because it kind of looks like an exercise video at times.
yeah.
And
80s, yeah,
and
old
I
school.
yeah. And like Mem and Reed and Judith are like all like friends of ours from like other parts of things. So like we found three people that we know that are very into pro wrestling
Hmm.
and had them do this. And like it felt really good to also make like some sort of like sports video that was like super queer empowering. So
Yeah,
I'm I don't know. I love that video too. I appreciate it. I'm really proud of the videos this time around. I'm like my
I'm
favorite one is
yeah,
the one that looks like a B movie slasher for Super Trans and Takeaway.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
like that's the one where I was like covered in blood and stuff. I love that. Like
Oh,
I love the concepts that we came up with. It
hmm,
definitely was a lot to like agree on something. But when
yeah.
we did agree on things, they ended up being great.
Came together. So you had a couple creative voices, and then when you bring those creative voices in and kind of agree on a final vision, it comes together, and it's fucking beautiful, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
absolutely. That song. I mean, we can't forget about mentioning one of my favorite songs on the album, "Doctor." I love that song. I sent that to my brother as soon as I heard it. I said, "You got to hear the song. It's amazing." That was one of my favorites on the album too. So they're very powerful songs, and I want to commend you for writing songs that aren't just disposable. They have a meaning, and especially in the 2024 that we're living in, and it means a lot to me and a lot of people, and not just me, but a lot of disillusioned people and people who are kind of looking for their spot in life. And I feel like you give people a lot of positive hope. So I want to
Thank you.
give you your props for that, man. It's definitely for sure. I love it.
Trying my best to like just like I want to genuinely like try and inspire more people to be at least like comfortable with themselves because that's like something that as you mentioned you struggled with, I struggled with, like just finding like comfort in your own skin. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's if anything comes out of those songs, it's the most radical thing in the world, which is loving yourself and accepting yourself. So
Yeah.
yeah.
100%. 100%. All right. It is time. It is time, Luke, for something we like to call word association on Root TV. Are you ready?
All right, fuck it. Yeah, let's do it.
I haven't done this with any other guests, and I've had a lot of fucking guests. Yeah, you're the first. I just like, I don't know. Maybe I'll just
You're like,
make.
all right, this kid's a psycho. Let's do it. Yeah, all right.
All right.
I'm stoked. Yeah.
All right. Number one, here we go.
All
And
right.
first thing that comes to your mind, you don't need to do like a whole like, you know, you don't need to do like a podcast on each name. Just like give me the first couple thoughts that come into your brain. Number one, Joe Strummer of the Clash.
Amazing, great hair.
For sure.
Wears sleeveless shirts a lot.
All
Yeah.
right,
Um,
it's fair enough. All right. Um, this man is one of my favorite humans. my current favorite humans that we share the earth with, and his name is Chris Farron. What do you think of Chris Farron?
Um, self-love, first thing that comes in my head. Spy movies, second thing, because that new Spy record that I really like.
Yeah.
Um, good hair also. Chris
Mhm.
Farron has great hair. Um, and wearing blazers to your own shows.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. All right. Ramones, the Ramones.
Um, just song titles honestly come to my head. Like immediately, I'm like, here today, gone tomorrow, beat on the brat. What's your game? Um, I just want to sniff some glue. Like, I mean, those are the first things that come to my head with Ramones, just because I listen to those songs so much that, like, because everything, like, he says is an earworm. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, the music is the first thing.
All right. Next up, bomb the music industry.
Bomb the music industry. Too many members, ska, um, albums that sound like shit but hit, like, emotionally, like, very well. Um, iPhone recording sounds, um, keyboards that make beep boop sounds and they're really small and like $80. No, that's like that's the first things that come to my mind about that band.
All right. Very good. Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri, flame shirt, um, flame shirt, crazy hair, goatee, um, having mismatched like eyebrows and beard to hair. Yeah, those are the first things.
All right. And last but not least, Trisha Marshall.
One of my best friends, a bass player, um, from New Jersey.
Intricate tattoo sleeve. Intricate tattoo sleeve. She's got like intricate
Um,
tattoos.
yeah, no, that shit's crazy. I mean, it probably took a long time.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, man, that's definitely the first word association. I don't know if I'll ever do it again, so that might be the end of it. So that'd
Yeah,
be I don't know if
one time hit.
yeah. Are you finding since you've been in Philly, are you finding you said Vietnamese food and there's a place on Arch Street. I think it's actually called Vietnam. We talked about Guy Fieri. I'm thinking about food. I'm scatterbrained. We talked about Vietnamese food. There's a place on Arch Street. I think the place is called Vietnam. It's got really good Vietnamese food.
I'm gonna check it
So
out.
yeah, if
Sounds
you
awesome.
check that out. I could give you some recommendations of other places you can eat. I don't know what kind of foods are you into? You like
Um, a whole lot. So just hit my line with anything that
I'm
comes
not
to
very
mind.
yeah, I'm not very fussy. Like I don't know, like God, you like sushi and stuff like that
I
or
love everything. Like, I'm
yeah,
not joking. Like, any kind of food that is done well, I'm into. And I like things that challenge me. Like, I like things
yeah,
like that are like insanely hot, weird looking or gross looking. Like, I love the concept of like
yeah,
food and like how it brings people together. So it's definitely like one of my favorite things.
absolutely. There was an old Sim I might be dating myself, but there's an old Simpsons episode where oh God, I can't remember what it was when they ate a poisonous fish and you said food that challenges you. So
Is it
they're
fugu? Because that's
yeah,
like a very famous like fish that can kill you if ate the wrong
yeah,
way.
yeah. If it could kill you if you eat the wrong part of it or something. I
Yeah,
forget.
it's
Yeah, yeah,
literally so it has a venom sac in its stomach
yeah.
that like
That
if
must.
you if you eat it, it just kills you automatically.
Well, what a romantic way to go. I mean, seriously, I don't know if I could pick a way to go.
Over an
It'd be
open fire,
what
like
a delicious, humiliating way to go. Delicious, humiliating way to go. He went.
yeah, no, it's
I went out
yeah,
doing what I loved.
yeah, totally. Exploring dangerous food.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, speaking about going out, we are almost reaching the hour, my buddy, my homie. So, before I forget, because I don't want to forget, and I know we have a lot of viewers today watching who aren't familiar with your stuff. Where can they find you on the interwebs? And I know you just dropped some new Teenage Halloween shirts. I think I saw merch,
Yeah, yeah.
Bandcamp, all that stuff. Do all the plugs. Do the plugs. Do the plugs. Do all the plugs, Luke.
Um,
Go.
so Teenage Halloween band without vowels, besides in the word band on Twitter. Um, we are teenagehalloween.bandcamp.com on Bandcamp and at Teenage Halloween on Instagram. And we have a Facebook if you look us up. And it's definitely like we're definitely the most active on Twitter and Instagram. We also have a TikTok that's TikTok/ Teenage Halloween. Um yeah, we're just all over the internet now. So find us everywhere.
Well, I didn't know you were on TikTok, so I'm new to the TikTok game, so I will add you on there, and
Yeah, please do.
for sure will. And yeah, I'm a hop, skip, and a jump away from you, so we should hang out in Philly and grab a bite to eat or a drink or something, or go to a
Oh
show
yeah.
or something, for sure.
We will. I mean, we both have a love of tattooed moms, so that'll be a
Yeah,
hang for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I have a long storied history at that place. It's my favorite in the world. So shout out to Tattooed Moms, and yeah, hope to get back there soon. But I think that about wraps it up. I think that wraps up the hour. We are here, and I think it was a damn good, Luke. I think it was a damn one of my favorite talks of all time. I could say, Luke.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I've had a lot of damn talks with a lot of people.
Hell yeah. I mean, you got the talk show, so thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate being here. Appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And come back anytime, whenever, in the next year or two, if you ever drop a new album, want to promote it, you can sure as hell. The door is open. The door is open 24.
And I'll talk a lot. I'll talk your ear off about it.
The RueTV door is open for Luke
Hell
Henderiks.
yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks so much, homie. I will see you very soon. All right.
Yeah, I'll text you about this later. Have a good one.
All right. Cheers. Take care.
Oh yeah. Peace out.